Yeah. I've got a great show planned for you today. Special guest, Rachel Campos Duffy of Fox News. You see her on the weekend on Fox and Friends. She's got a new book out. She'll talk to us about that book coming up on the program today. Also, it's Wednesday, so we lean into the vision and the wisdom of our founding fathers as we count down to celebrate America's 250th birthday and a whole bunch in between. So thanks so much for joining us. I cannot guarantee the quality of the show today, folks. I will tell you, I will be distracted all day long. Now, Super Dave Ayler is our executive producer. Does a fine job. I look across the glass. I look at him every morning. Gary is somewhere in the hinterlands of our newsroom. I can kind of see him through multiple panes of glass. But right now, my retinas are burning. I need my Ray-Bans because someone had the audacity to walk into the studios of News Radio WRVA this morning wearing what I can only describe as a hippie tie-dye T-shirt, and he dares walk in and sully Richmond's morning news looking like he's going to a Grateful Dead show. Cup of Joe, who's producing the show today, walks in, and he's dressed like he wants to go see Bob Weir and the Dead. And I'm perplexed at the decision to wear that to work today.
It's field day at my daughter's school. And this is the shirt that everybody wears out there.
Oh, so you're just going to go along with the collective like everybody else this morning?
Yes.
Okay, so if everybody else, as my mother would say, if everybody else jumped off the roof of the house, would you do that as well?
If the roof was on fire.
No. She would say, don't be a smart aleck, and then she'd hit you. So if everybody else decided they want to dress like a hippie today, you're going along with it.
I am.
Okay.
At least at Kersey Creek Elementary.
Are you embarrassed by this?
I don't like the shirt, but it's what.
Well, then why did you wear it?
Because this is what all the volunteers were asked to wear.
Yeah, asked to. Yeah. Zorha Mamdani is not running the show here this morning. We are not leaning into communism. You're wearing this, and it's just.
My daughter asked me to wear it.
Don't throw her under the bus. Do not bring her into this. You as an adult, I'm going to simply give you parenting advice. My school asked my child once to wear a hippie T-shirt. My son said, I ain't no hippie. I'm not wearing that. And the teacher goes, no, we're all wearing that. He goes, I'll wear red, white, and blue. And he refused to wear the tie-dye hippie T-shirt. He goes, my aunts might listen to the Grateful Dead. Doesn't mean I need to dress like a hippie.
True.
So just telling you, I'm rather disappointed that you rolled in dressing up like you're going to go see the Dead at Burning Man.
I wear this shirt once a year.
Once a year, too much.
I'll
try my best to not be distracted by my eyes being absolutely glazed over right now, staring into this green and blue tie-dye hippie-looking
you some sunglasses.
You realize I'm originally from Northern California. I get it. I lived in San Francisco, right? I actually lived in the city when I did sports talk there, and I would go into the Haight all the time. I'd go into Haight-Ashbury all the time. One of my favorite pizza places was there, but I never wore tie-dye. I've never worn tie-dye in my life. Even when I was a kid, Super Dave said, "Oh, as a kid, we wore tie-dye all the time." I refused.
You never made a tie-dye shirt?
No.
Oh.
How dare you accuse me of ever even contemplating putting on a tie-dye T-shirt? Well, literally, when I was like maybe third grade, they go, okay, we're wearing these shirts, and they started making tie-dye, and I just stood in the corner, and the teacher goes, Richard, what's wrong? I said, I'm not doing that. Why? Because those are hippies. And she goes, what? And I go, that's a hippie T-shirt. I'm not wearing that. Next day, everybody wore for like the end of school. Everybody wore a tie-dye T-shirt except for moi. Even back then, I knew GOP for life. Although there was 2 weeks that I was a registered Democrat because I thought I had a shot with a girl who was registering voters when I turned 18. Other than that, all my life.
Should I wear a suit and tie next time I come in to fill in for Dave?
I would like to see you dress more like Alex P. Keaton than Alex P. Keaton's mom and dad, who were Elise and Stephen.
We'll see if we can
I'll see if we can do that. Okay, enough of your nonsense. Let's get to Richmond's Morning News Brief. All right, story number one. Here's the latest. The stare down between Iran and the United States of America continues Iran still asking for a lot. The U.S. saying, no, you got to do this before we even get there. Here's the latest from Fox News. That's our big story of the day.
Number 1.
Says those strikes on Iranian missile launching sites were purely defensive to protect U.S. troops, but Iran is calling it an aggressive and blatant violation of the ceasefire. Iran's foreign ministry, meantime, added that it will leave no act of aggression unanswered, but did not elaborate, while the country's supreme leader says, quote, America will no longer have a safe haven in the Middle East. And of course, the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, the price of oil remains higher, and the global economy remains in limbo.
The latest from Fox News. Again, they continue to negotiate. Iran continues to dither, playing the waiting game. And I'm not sure you're dealing with honest brokers, and I'm not sure how this administration is being so patient, but they're doing everything they can to give peace a chance. We'll talk about that a little bit later coming up on the program. Story number 2, Donald Trump flexes the ballot box in Texas, sends a message to the rest of the country. Our second big story of the morning.
Number 2.
I want to thank Senator Cornyn for his service to this state. John has dedicated much of his life to serving Texas. He's worked diligently for years to help Texas. And for that spirit of service to the Lone Star State and our nation, I'm very grateful.
That was Ken Paxton, who won his primary yesterday, the runoff against incumbent Senator John Cornyn. Donald Trump put his thumb on the scale for Paxton. He wins. He's the attorney general. He will move on. And Cornyn, who stood in the way of some of Donald Trump, not all of it, went along about 88% of the time, but Donald Trump said, bye, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. Goes with Paxton. He'll represent the Republicans against James Tallarico, who, by the way, very brave man in Texas. He is now running a vegan campaign. They are now meat-free on his campaign. Let me know how that works out for you down in the Lone Star State. We'll talk about that coming up here on the program. Story number 3. This is one that interests me greatly. The Board of Visitors, Virginia Tech getting together. They want to go pro. That's our third story of the morning.
Number 3.
College athletics is changing as we know it. And now you've got general managers. What? A general manager in college football? Now Virginia Tech's Board of Visitors is actually going to take that next step. And they're talking about bringing in professional people to run part of the athletic department. Folks, college sports, as we know it, is done. And if these things are for profit, then great. Stand on your own. You don't need my tax dollars. This is something I feel strongly about. We'll discuss this morning here on Richmond's Morning News. Hey, story number 4. Very excited. Special guest coming up on the show today. Rachel Campos Duffy, author, Fox and Friends host. She's going to join us coming up on the show later today.
Number 4.
All right, she's got a new book out. It's called All-American Patriotism, Celebrating 250 Years of American Greatness. I love this book, but I'll ask her like I asked Brett Baer of Fox News, why do we have to write this book? Isn't this something we should already know? Isn't this something that should be intuitive and built into this country? I love the fact she wrote the book. I'm sad the fact that we have to tell people about it because it's not something kids learn in school. We'll talk about her with that coming up at 8:35. Now, finally, our final story of the morning here on Richmond's Morning News. I told you yesterday, I found out travel baseball is now a $40 billion business. I told you yesterday, my brother's got a friend. His grandson is 8 years old, plays travel baseball. He will leave Southern California where they live to go to Arizona and Texas, out of state, a couple times a month. They're spending $18,000 a year for a second grader to play travel baseball. A second grader. I thought that was the silliest thing I've ever heard. I got a new one for you. How about a 7-year-old who's doing mountain climbing? Listen.
Number 5.
Tell us how you feel.
Great.
It's an unbelievable task to climb the front of El Capitan. I don't want to pretend that there's no risk. There's not a second that they're not anchored to the wall. It's as good as it gets.
As good as it gets. Do you know how preposterous it is You put a second grader climbing the face of El Capitan. That's Big Mountain, California, National Park. What is wrong with people? Do you think that 7-year-old woke up and said, hey, mommy, daddy, do you want to go to the park? Maybe we can feed the ducks. I don't know. You want to go to Disneyland? Oh, I know. Mommy, daddy, let's go climb the face of El Capitan. I'm telling you, this whole idea of parents living their lives through 7-year-olds is ridiculous. Who in their right mind would put their 7-year-old in danger like that? How can a 7-year-old decide, yeah, I think it's a good idea for me to climb mountains? There's this whole thing, baseball mom life. You see all these women on Instagram, and they show themselves, and they get all dolled up, and they're sitting there drinking wine out of cups, and they celebrate. Oh, they hold up their cameras. Oh, look, baseball mom life. Here we are again at the ballpark, baseball mom life, drinking wine. It's all performative art for your Instagram followers and your TikTok followers. And this is the same thing. That's not good parenting. That's you trying to basically be a stage mom. I'll send my kid up at El Capitan so I can get likes on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. It's a joke. It's dumb. And I dare anybody to tell me, yeah, how great it is that I had a 7-year-old travel from state to state playing baseball, spending $18,000 a year, or how great it is to have a second grader climbing a mountain. I'd like to get your thoughts. I'm outraged by this. I personally am outraged by this as a father who thinks, what is wrong with you people? Greatest job I have is being a dad. How are you taking this opportunity you have to be a dad and doing something as stupid as that? 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140 on the James WRVA text line. I'm not sure if I'm fired up over that or I'm fired up that we have a member of our crew today who's a hippie in Cup of Joe. Anyway, that's Richmond's Morning News Brief. Yeah, that's story number 6. Cup of Joe is sitting there wearing his Grateful Dead t-shirt to work. 833-804-1140. Today's program brought to you in part by A-Plus Roofing. All right, you've been waiting and putting it off, but I'm just telling you, the longer you wait, the more money it's going to cost you. What are you talking about, Rich? I'm talking about getting your roof repaired, getting your roof redone. You know you're not going to make it through this summer in the rains without re-roofing your house. But you keep waiting, I can't afford it just quite yet. Well, you're not going to afford it tomorrow either because the prices are going up on supplies. It's inflation. They're about to spike. Lock in your price right now. Call our friends over at A-Plus Roofing, 804-752-0008, 804-752-0008. Go online to aplusroofing.com.
Hey, it's Jeff Katz. Congressman John McGuire joins us with an update on the Iran situation. Later today, 3:05. News Radio WRVA.
Before America became a nation, it was an idea. And that idea was born in Virginia. In